right, guys, so welcome back to another video, and this is one which I'm really excited to share with you guys. This is going to be my top 5 vintage pickups of the year, and this was actually a really hard list to come up with because I got a ton of amazing vintage goodness this year, which I never thought in a million years that I would actually be able to secure. But all this essentially came through just selling his stuff. I sold a lot of modern toys. I sold a lot of video games, and none of this actually came out really um, from my pocket per se. It was all done through various sales, trades, with stores, a combination of all sorts of stuff. So I was very lucky to get everything which I got this year. Before I get into the top 5, I'm going to get into some honorable mentions. One of the things which I didn't include as part of the list is playsets. Playsets, I did get several of them, and they are just some bonkers playsets that I got. But I'm not including them in the list. This is going to stick more to figures. So here's the playsets, just so you guys can see some of the things which I picked up this year. So here these are. So these are not going to be in my list as I'm going more with figures. Playsets are one thing, but figures, I just always have above playsets. So these actually did not make my list, as amazing as these are, but I'm going to show them right now because they're pretty spectacular and are certainly worth mentioning. So the first thing is this beautiful Snake Mountain that I got recently. I mean, look at that. It's complete. Box is in pretty good shape. It's open, but in really nice shape. I mean, I already have Castle Grayskull, so having the two of them is pretty incredible. Next is this Batman 89 Batcave, completely sealed, never open. Just the original price tag. Can't really read what the price is, but I mean, this is pretty spectacular. It is pretty nice. So that's the Bat Cave, and the best playset that I got this year, which it's pretty amazing. Yeah, is this incredible Hall of Justice, which I got this really nice acrylic case for. It is sealed. The only issue really is right here along the top, but this is certainly worth considering getting graded, which I might, but it also looks great in the acrylic case that I got for it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's really any reason to go grade it, because it's never leaving my collection. And the acrylic case is just to make it look nicer. So those are the incredible playsets that I got this year. But now let's jump in to really the top 5 vintage, I guess, figures that I got this year. That's how we'll call it. So yeah, I obviously got some amazing playsets this year. Blessed that the stores near me got these in. I mean, it was really kind of incredible. So I'm very happy that I got those. But before I jump into the top 5 list, here are some honorable mentions for the figures. So first one, and this one is not on card, but this is a banger. So I'm definitely mentioning this. I think this is a great looking figure. I can't believe I actually got this even as a loose figure. It's in really nice shape, and it comes with the little comic, and it's complete with the weapon. It is the original Scareglow. The cape is in really nice shape. You can see the comic is in there. His weapon is in here. This is a really, really nice figure. So that is the first honorable mention. Next, this one, not that it was a throw-in, but it actually was something that I picked up at the same time as something that's even bigger, which you will see later on. And this was one of my favorite Transformers growing up. The box it's in okay shape, but it is complete. Comes with the inner plastic and everything. It's not sealed, but it is complete. And it is Grimlock. No, it's a little hard to see. So Grimlock is one of the honorable mentions. Next, I picked up these Hasbros at the Maryland Toy Show, which I went with Ron and Jersey Geek, and it is, first one is Hulk Hogan. I think I want to get this signed by Hogan whenever I actually make it down to Florida to his shop for a signing. I think this is when I'm going to get signed by him. And this is actually relevant to what's in the movie theaters right now. It is the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. That is very cool. So those are the honorable mentions. So let's just jump into the list. Now, at number 5, this was a toy line which I loved when I was a kid. I had a ton of these figures. I probably had the entire line. I had also the some vehicles from the line. Basically, to me, this was my G.I. Joe. I was actually never into G.I. Joe, but I was really into this line. And at number 5 is Rambo from the Coleco line. It's pretty mint on card. This card is just incredible. Unpunched. It looks really nice. And as I said, I was really into this line. I probably had most of these figures that are back here. Who knows what my parents did with them. And I remember I did have the helicopter. I was a big Stallone fan in the 80s, as a lot of kids were back then. Loved Rocky, loved Rambo, loved the Rambo movies. And when this cartoon hit, I think in 1985, it just hit the sweet spot for me. So, and that toy line that followed up on the cartoon, just phenomenal. So that's at number 5. At number 4 is some recent pickups which I got, which you guys probably remember from my recent videos, and it is the TMNT on-card Turtles. I got the Raph. I got Mikey. And I'm just counting these as one. These are the 10-backs. Got Mikey. And I also got Leo. Now, the reason I'm not including Donnie is because I already actually had Donnie. So I'm not going to include him. Obviously, these I'm counting as one. How do you differentiate between the turtles, you know? So that is at number 4. I've always wanted to have all 4 turtles on the original card back. So that is something which I was able to accomplish this year. So that is number 4. At number 3, and this, well, I don't know if this comes as a shock or not. I mean, given what number 1 and number 2 are, it's not really shocking, I suppose, that this would come in at number 3. This is something which I just picked up. This, I can't believe that I got this, is from the original Transformers line, Megatron. This is at number 3. It's in really nice shape. The box is okay, but what's awesome about this is that it's complete, has the styrofoam, and the colors really, really pop on this one. Sorry for all the glare. It's, it's light bouncing off multiple plastic, and, what can you do? So this is at number 3. I freaking love this. And this is something which will never get remade in the United States. They will never make a gun Megatron again. So that is number 3. Now, number 2 and number 1 are literally splitting hairs. I have such a hard time, figuring out what is 1 and 1 and what is 2. These were literally, I would say, my 2 favorite characters growing up as far as toys. My 2 favorite toys growing up. I always wanted to get them in the collection complete and on card and box, whatever you want to call it. Was never able to do so until this year. And I got them, and like I said, I don't know which one is 1 and 2. I keep going back and forth on it, but as of today, my opinion might change tomorrow. At number 2 is going to be the original He-Man, Masters of the Universe from Mattel. I mean, what can you say about this figure? I mean, it's absolutely iconic. I loved this line, one of my favorite lines growing up. Probably um, number. See, I have a hard time saying between my top three lines growing up were Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, and Transformers. Then I would say LJ and Wrestlers. Um, but I mean, I loved these toys so much. And this is, like I said, it was one of my favorite toys growing up, period. So that brings us to number one. And again, same goes for this as went for He-Man. Again, one of my favorite characters growing up. Him and He-Man were 1 and 1A. Any given day, it could flip. But today, I'm calling it as this is the number one. And this is the number one vintage pickup of the year for me. It is the original Optimus Prime in box in all its glory. Again, sorry for the glare. Obviously, I have these in acrylic cases. The only issue here is there's some smudge here, but whatever. The box is in decent shape. It's complete. Given the age of this, I'm so happy to have this in the collection. I mean, these two right here. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Just having these means the absolute world to me. So I'm ecstatic that I was able to get these into the collection. Given my fondness for them, it's kind of easy to see why Megatron would fall to number 3. But Megatron is also absolutely incredible. So that is my top 5 pickups, vintage pickups of the year. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your favorite vintage toys are. Give me your top 5. Put it down in the comments. I'm curious to hear what your personal top 5 vintage toys are. I think that's going to spark some interesting conversation. So put it down in the comments. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Instagram. I post all sorts of stuff on Instagram as far as my pickups. I do a little bit of toy photography. I play around with that. It's a really fun page. So check me out on Instagram. The description is down below. It's Mr. Fantastic just collecting. It's not nerdy collecting in the Instagram. It wouldn't, for some reason, it wouldn't let me put the full name in. So it's just Mr. Fantastic collecting. Check me out on Instagram if you have not followed me already. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care.